Oh, yeah. This is D. Snyder from Twisted Sister. Yeah, you know me. And listen, there's a new YouTube channel that's interviewing up-and-coming, young, new musicians, helping them promo their work. They don't charge anything for it. They don't charge anything for subscribing to the site. But you gotta support new music. You gotta support this site. Support these young bands, okay? So, site is called, what is it? Max One on One. Max One on One. All right? Subscribe to Max One on One. Support new music. No charge whatsoever. This is a good thing.
Great. So you were saying that this is your friend's studio.
Yeah. That place is called Crash Lab.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Belmore, New York, and everything you hear recorded by MykoCyko gets done there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Pete Sipper's studio.
So how do you meet him?
That's interesting. I own an alarm company, and I worked for myself from 2000 to 2010. And along that way, I had a guy working for me named Tom. And Tom knew Pete and his wife. And Tom came to work for me on a Sunday. I needed help with something, and I called him out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him in a few years. And when we were done working, he said, "Don't drop me off at my apartment. Drop me off in Belmore at this guy's house." So he goes, "Hey, come on in with me. I want you to meet my friends." So I go in, and they Pete and his lovely wife, Dr. Ann, were really nice people. And Pete's from England. He's got a British accent. And he's like, "Hey, I'm building a demo studio in my basement, mate." And I'm like, "Dude, let me know when it's done. I want to come over and record." And at that point, I had never even recorded anything I had written before. So he called me a couple of months later. We laid down the first song we laid down is Monsters. I have a lyric video for it. And we're like halfway through recording of Monsters. And he's like, "Dude, we got to fix this." I don't even remember what it was. And I'm like, "Dude, it's just a demo." And he's like, "No, mate, this is much more than a demo." And I was like, "Really? It's that good?" He's like, "I love it, man." He's like, "This is really good, and we have to do it right." So the song gets finished. I start the MykoCyko music page on Facebook, and I don't know how to post the song. So I make I invite all of my friends to the page. I make a post. "Hey, I'll have a song up as soon as I figure out how to do it." Mm-hmm. And this woman I know down in Mississippi sends me, comments on the post and says, "Send me the song, I'll post it for you." So I sent her the song. About 7 minutes later, I get a private message from her. "Hey, this song kicks ass. Can I play it on my radio station?"
Nice.
I'm like, "Hell yeah."
What song was it? Because you have 4 or 5 songs already, right?
Yeah, I have 4 that you can hear.
Okay.
So this was Monsters.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I love that song. I love it. Cool. Cool. Well, everybody, we are here with Michael King from MykoCyko, right? You tell me if I pronounce it that well. MykoCyko?
Yeah, MykoCyko.
Awesome. How do you come with that name?
Dude, it's just a stupid thing. I was just driving along one day and just like I wordsmith. I change letters around in my head or change the beginning of one word and put it on the end of another word. And MykoCyko just rhymed. I'm like, I'm Myko and I'm a psycho. Whoa.
Very cool, very cool.
There was actually a rapper in the beginning of the 2000s that has this name.
Oh, really?
But I haven't heard anything from him for using
cool.
this name, so we're going to just keep going with it.
Nice. And you guys been together, or at least with Pete Sipa for 5 years, let's say, 2015?
I started recording, I'm 56. I started recording 4 or 5 years ago now, yeah. My Monsters is copyrighted in 2015,
Cool.
And I probably started at the beginning of 2015 recording it. So yeah.
Very nice.
Pete plays the solos on all the 4 songs you can hear right now.
Cool.
Okay? But he's not in MykoCyko. He just happens to be a good lead guitar player.
Nice.
And we're in there laying it down. I'm like, you want to throw a solo on? And he's like, yeah, sure, you know. And Pete's got a bunch of guitars, so it's really cool. We have a nice selection to choose from, you know, to do it. But I do have a lead guitar player. His name is Richard Hanoski. And he's also writing with me now.
Cool.
He's the guy that knows all the music theory and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And can tell me the names of the chords I play.
Oh, very cool. That's good to have somebody like that in a band, man, because sometimes you need somebody to
That's
translate,
Richard in that
right?
picture right up. That's up there now, the blonde-haired guy.
Excellent. Tell me more about the other members.
Right now, the current lineup is me on rhythm guitar. I got Richard Hanoski. That's him in the picture right there.
Yeah.
On lead guitar.
Nice.
And then we have a singer named Michael Sudbrink. He likes to be called Surly.
Okay.
So Surly on lead vocals.
Surly, yeah, I have it here in my notes. Very
I don't
cool.
have a permanent bass player or a permanent drummer yet. So far in the studio, we don't even use a drummer. We use something called Easy Drummer.
Yep.
And bass guitarist, I bring in. I have a couple of guys I like. I use this guy, Joe Rockwell. This guy is like the best bass player I've ever seen. And then I have Harold Skeet. He's in a band called Crash Transit, amongst other bands.
Cool.
I use him on bass as well. Plus, Pete plays bass guitar. I can play bass guitar. So for the studio, we don't really need a permanent guy.
Nice.
And then singers, my friend Howard Powell. He sings some of Nail in My Coffin. That's him in the picture with the Superman shirt on.
Yeah, nice.
He sings Positive Vibes, which is
Very cool.
the most popular song to date. And he also sings the choruses on Nail in My Coffin.
Very cool.
Howard's busy doing other things, so we're not currently working with him, but we love Howard and you know, probably work with him somewhere down the road again.
Yeah, there's always time, you know, for music and share good moments. So, Michael, tell me about how did you start your career? Because in 2015 you started this band, you know, but it seems like you've been playing for longer time.
Well, I've been playing guitar since I'm 13 years old, I think. Took lessons for a couple of years, you know, my mom and dad paid for. But I've always been around music people. I was a guitar technician.
Okay.
From 1985 to 1991, I worked for Lillian Axe.
Wow.
I worked for Zebra. I'm the guitar tech of record on the Zebra Live album.
Nice.
I worked like 4 shows with Dream Theater as bass guitar tech.
Wow.
On their first album. I went to their album release party too.
Very cool.
And I've just always maintained, I have a lot of friends that play instruments, have always been around music. And then when I met Pete, it was just the right time to start recording. And, you know, I record the one song and get it out, and everybody's telling me it's they love it. So I'm like, well, let's just keep recording then. So
yeah. Michael, tell me about your influences. What was your first record? Let's start for your first record.
First record probably I had was Meet the Beatles.
Wow, I love it.
You know, I Saw Her Standing There is a great song, and that was on that album. My mom is the eldest of her siblings, so I was born in 1963. 1967, I'm 4 or 5 years old. My Uncle John is only 17. And he's got an 8-track cassette player in his bedroom.
Wow.
And he's got an album called The Beatles Oldies But Goodies. And just about every song on that 8-track tape was a great Beatles song.
Wow.
So that was a big influence on me. I used to listen to that tape a lot. Then when cassettes came out, my parents got me a cassette player, and I had Abbey Road.
Wow, my favorite album.
Yeah, no, it's a great album. And then from there, you know, when I started doing music with my friends in junior high school, it was Kiss, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
These are all the bands that I cherished. A little later on, Ronnie James Dio.
Wow.
I saw Black Sabbath with Ronnie James Dio.
Wow.
I saw Dio on the Last in Line tour, with Campbell still on guitar. I saw Ozzy with Randy Rhoads twice.
Very cool.
I saw Judas Priest. There's this town just north of where I live now called Hempstead. And they had a theater called the Calderone Concert Hall. And somehow me and my friend Rick, we landed first row center seats at the Calderone Concert Hall for Judas Priest. I was fisting, like this with Rob Halford during Green Van Alicia with the
nice.
strong crowd.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Blue Oyster Cult was a huge influence on me.
Yeah.
And Black Sabbath, of course.
Yeah, and how about Kiss? Because you're from New York, probably. Have you seen them in the 70s, or that was later on?
This was my first concert, 13 years old, 1977.
You kidding me? Oh my God, that's the best year of Kiss.
Rock and Roll Over Tour.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite albums ever, man. Wow.
Tears were coming out of my eyes when they came out on stage.
Sorry, tell me a little bit about that show, man, because that's a gem that you.
Dude, it's so long ago; it's hard to remember.
But what do you remember? There's something that you should.
I remember them playing Cold Gin.
Wow.
And I remember them playing 100,000 Years because that's my favorite Kiss song.
That's my favorite Kiss song too, man. Awesome! I love it.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah. The first Kiss album is my first, but my favorite album.
Mine too. Mine too.
Much,
dude, in 1992, they had the Hot in the Shade tour. My friend Vid was their production manager, and my friend Tony Bird was Paul Stanley's guitar tech.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
I got to meet Gene and Paul. Paul wasn't so humble. But more important than meeting those guys, Tony Bird took me up on stage, and I got a tour of Paul Stanley's guitar rig and the whole deal. Yeah, dude, it was sick.
So, buddy, tell me, let's get into the MykoCyko's music, right? So we have like 4 songs. We have Monsters, Positive Vibes, Nail in My Coffin, and Satan's Slave. Tell me if I'm missing one.
No, you got it.
I got it. So let's go into a little bit of tell me about the lyrics. How you wrote those lyrics. The music.
So first thing you got to know is that Monsters, Satan's Slave, and Nail in My Coffin. I actually wrote the bulk of those songs, the rhythm tracks, when I was between 17 and 19 years old.
Wow.
Okay. What happened was, I don't play cover music. Okay, and I had a friend. We all jammed at his house. He was a drummer. His parents were divorced. His living room had no furniture in it. It had a Ludwig Octopus, and it had everybody that was jamming with him's amplifiers there. So when those people weren't around, I would play guitar, and my friend Rick would play drums, and I would make up music, and me and Rick would jam on it.
Wow.
And Monsters is one of the things I made up, and in fact, the exact way, arrangement-wise, and the length of each part that I used to play with my friend Rick when I was a kid is how I laid it down.
Oh, nice.
So it's exactly, the rhythm track is exactly as long and how I used to play it with my buddy Rick.
Very cool.
When I was 16 years old.
Very cool.
Okay, so Satan's Slave was another one that I made up with my friend Rick, and Nail in My Coffin, the main riff and the riff behind the guitar solo, I wrote with my friend Rick. The chorus riff only got written as I was recording the song. Randy Jackson, the Monsters track, without any vocals on it, because I wasn't even calling it Monsters at first. I was calling it Sound of the Season was the title that we recorded the rhythm track under. And I sent it to Randy Jackson from Zebra in an email and said, hey, what do you think of this? And he was emailing me back, and he says, it's really good. You should really get even some words and a melody on it and copyright it because somebody will take it.
Oh.
And I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that there are unscrupulous people in the music industry that'll steal my music?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, I was in shock because, I don't know if you're familiar with Zebra, but Zebra's a great band and Randy is a great songwriter.
Yes, yes.
And I have a great songwriter telling me that my music is good.
That's amazing, man.
That's
amazing. It is really good, man. And congratulations for that, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So at that point, I was already considering changing the name of the song to Monsters. I'm thinking it's my first song I've ever recorded. It needs to be a monster. I'm calling it Monsters.
Very cool.
And as soon as I made that decision, which was right after this email exchange with Randy Jackson, I just started writing the words. And 7 minutes later, I had those words done.
Oh, my God.
I hate singing. I hate listening to my voice. It makes me nuts because a better singer probably could have done a lot better job.
No, but it's normal. We all hate. I mean, John Lennon hated his voice, so it's a normal human reaction, right? To when you listen to yourself,
Well,
so,
I mean, unless you got a voice like Jeff Tate from Queensryche, or
yeah, well, that's.
I hate.
But this is rock and roll. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
If it's perfect, then it's not rock and roll. That's my theory.
I have a version of Monsters with Felix Hanneman, the bass player, keyboard player from Zebra, singing the whole song.
Wow, that's amazing.
I have pictures of him on the MykoCyko page of him singing in Pete's studio, And his was okay, he's a way better singer than myself, but it was my first song I ever professionally recorded, and I wanted to be on it.
Yeah. Michael, tell me about the story. We were watching a video before the interview. A guy named Steve, he was playing one of your guitars. That's a custom guitar. Tell me about that guitar.
Okay, so that's a 1981 Gibson Les Paul custom.
Wow.
I bought
81? 81?
Yeah.
So probably that's I'm sorry to interrupt. So that's probably the Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley used to play a black one Les Paul like that. Probably we are.
That's why I bought the black one, because Ace was playing a black one. And what happened was, I worked all summer. I got out of school in 1981 in June, but I didn't turn 18 until August. I had a job after school working for like a solar heating company. And I begged the owner of the company to let me go out with the installation crew after school got out. And I really had to beg and plead and beg and annoy the crap to get him to let me go, because I was a real skinny kid. I didn't look like I could do much. And I went out one job with these guys. The first day they came back and they were like, we need to have him on every job. Okay? So then they get me out in the field with them. The guy was so busy, we were working 80 hours a week. So by August, my birthday's August 12th, I had a ton of money saved. And I was like, I want a Gibson Les Paul custom.
Nice.
So I had my mom take me to Sam Ash. I went there to buy one and take it home that day. And the guy says, oh, you want a brand new one? I'm like, yeah. He goes, we got to order it.
Wow.
I ordered it. 2 weeks later, I picked it up. August 26th was 2 weeks later. And the cream-colored accent parts, the pick guard and the rings around the pickups, I bought those at the store. This guitar is originally a black beauty. It's all black.
Wow.
But I like the cream-colored parts on it. So it's my guitar. I don't care about. I didn't buy it as an investment. I bought it to play, and I want it to look like I wanted it to look. So I bought all the parts, and it's been that way ever since.
Tell me, Michael, how can I reach you out? On Facebook, on Instagram. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Social media links. I'm on Facebook. Okay. The band is MykoCyko Music. It's spelled just like the logo you see on the screen. The second word is music. Michael King Niffing is my Facebook page.
Okay.
I have MykoCyko Official on YouTube.
Okay.
And I have a Reverb Nation one. I think it's under Michael King. I'm not sure.
Wow. Thank you so much, Michael King, for your time. This interview has been amazing. It was a pleasure talking to you. Anything that you want to say to the people?
Just keep listening to MykoCyko. Share it. You know, it's free right now. You go on MykoCyko.com and share the hell out of it. I need to thank Leanna Roman from Houston, Texas. Big MykoCyko promoter and supporter. She's the best.
Thank you so much, Michael. Rock and roll, buddy.
Everybody for digging my music. I love it.
They're under your bed, coming to get you. They're monsters, I said, zapping your strength by preventing your sleep.